Good afternoon and welcome to NTV at 1 live from the Nation Center on this Sunday, the 13th of October. My name is Hellen Aura and I'll be taking you through the news making headlines. Welcome to the broadcast. The Ministry of Agriculture has sounded an alarm over the imbalance of imported food against the country's production, saying the government spends up to excess of £500 million Kenya shillings annually in food importation. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Andrew Karanja says the government will soon be engaging farmers and the private sector in pooling resources and infrastructure around improving the country's food production and reduce its dependency on food from outside. Lois Wangoi reports.
Agriculture CS Andrew Karanja terms it a shame that the government spends about 520 billion shillings every year to import food items that Kenyan soils and weather can support their production. But the CS says there's a catch. The country's farming sector needs to urgently explore matters, seed production, among other inputs in increasing the country's production of food varieties.
We are having a challenge with planting materials, seeds and planting materials, especially for potatoes, another planting materials. And where we are today is an investment which also is helping the government agenda in terms of planting materials. Because without planting materials, seeds and planting materials, that we cannot grow the crops.
Finance mostly moved away from when they used to finance the farmers and went towards the technical areas. Finance, we shall all die if our farmers are not financed. So, pia nyinyi, as you continue making way and making sure that we have, you provide finances for business, also push it harder so that Kenya becomes food secure, because you shall be involved 100%.
Currently, the country's most imported foods include unmilled wheat, maize, sugar, edible oils and rice. These foods are largely the country's staples, an indication that the country is yet to produce enough food for itself. The CS says areas that are currently producing those foods should be empowered with climate-smart technologies to boost existing production.
And I want to guarantee Kenyan farmers that we are having enough maize seeds and other seeds in the country. And what we are fighting is the fake ones. The fake ones are still a bit coming through, but we have a multi-agency team which is working on them. We are going to work on them.
Increasing yields at the farm has a direct connection with practicing smart agricultural practices, and here youth who have had training in emerging trends in agriculture were put to task in applying the knowledge in the agricultural sector, one dominated by the older generation.
There exist serious shortages in other legumes, pigeon peas, lentils, cowpeas, doricos, that is jahe, and other legumes. And these must be addressed by Kenyans.
Attempts by the government to reduce the food importation burden are not new, as stakeholders call an all-round approach, with the focus being to cure the country's reducing food fortunes at Kenyan farms while identifying climate change as one of the gaps.
A crate of tomato was going for 12,000. Within 1 month, it drops down to 500 shillings. And there was a lot of wastage. And this is what we need now to invest in. We have taken this. In the process, we minimize on wastage, and at the same time also, we create jobs for our youth.
Lois Wangoi, NTV.
At the same time, Kenyan farmers have been challenged to embrace smart technologies as the modern way of farming to augment their yields. While addressing farmers in Busia County during this year's Agritech Expo, Principal Secretary Irrigation Ephantus Kimodo has urged stakeholders to work together towards bettering skills of local farmers. Yara East Africa Country Director William Ngeno, on his part, added that his organization has made tremendous strides in reaching out to local farmers with updated technological tools. These technologies are meant to upscale agricultural value chain from seed to market and is targeted to boost farmers' agribusiness knowledge.
Technological transformation in agriculture is no longer just an idea. It is becoming a reality, and we have seen it today, influencing every stage of crop production up to crop processing.
We're also targeting large-scale producers, apart from the small-scale producers, in our mandate of increasing area under irrigation. Part of it, we are dealing with the smallholder farmers. Part of it is a large-scale producers, some of them even international players. The population is increasing day by day, but the land is not increasing the same rate. So the best way now to increase yield is to make sure we adopt technology, is to make sure we mechanize our land.
Friends, family and fans continue to mourn popular Luo Benga musician Lilian Auma Aoko, commonly known as Princess Julie, who died last evening after a long illness. Famed for the Dunia Mbaya hit song, which dominated the airwaves in the late 90s and beginning of the millennium, Princess Julie had been ailing was admitted at the Migori Referral Hospital. Our regional correspondent Bernardo Juang spoke to the family and her fans and now reports from South Nyanza.
The 51-year-old songbird had been admitted at Migori County Referral Hospital, where she was receiving treatment for the last 2 months. The family says she had gone into coma but had showed signs of improving in early August.
She was okay yesterday. We were even thinking of discharging her. Then all of a sudden, she just fell weak, and then back to oxygen, back to pipe feeding, and within 2-3 hours, she started worsening at around 11 a.m. today. We lost her by 4 p.m.
Princess Julie rose to fame with her hit song Dunia Mbaya, which was inspired by the loss of her friends due to lifestyle. The songbird was married as the third wife to the late Julius Okumu, alias Prince Julie. She also produced songs like Malo Malo, Agwenge Jarapogi, Atomija Chabera, Amayo Chumaliet, among others. The Queen of Benga, who is fondly referred to as a Lily Nyajogina, a Lily Panadol Dikwea, had been out of the music scene for quite some time but returned in 2020.
Princess was a go-getter. She turned our family around. Even though her schooling was not that much, but that woman had one of the best IQs.
Despite age catching up with her, the Benga Queen's voice was still as strong as it was during the days of her fame. To her fans, the music industry has lost a great entertainer, educator, and even though she will be missed, her voice will sing on the hearts of many.
She was an entertainer in the music industry, and her music was full of very educative, and we greatly remember her with the Dunia Mbaya song that she did some time back.
Jirani yetu hapa hana maneno na mtu. Alili hana maneno na mtu, ako hivyo.
And as the family prepares to accord her a decent send-off, they are requesting those in authority to chip in and help. Burial plans will be communicated later, the family says. Bernard Ojuang, NTV, in the county of Migori.
Our condolences to the family. With just weeks remaining until the start of the nationwide national examinations, teachers are raising concerns about delays in the release of capitation funds by the government. The Kenya National Union of Teachers now wants the government to speed up the release of capitation, as well as provide adequate security for teachers in insecure areas. Our reporter Nuruddin Elmoge has more.
At a gathering of teachers in Thika, where they were electing their representatives to champion their welfare at the decision-making platforms, many teachers voiced their worries about the upcoming exams. While teachers of the Thika branch of the Kenya National Union of Teachers cast their votes, they also took the opportunity to address concerns about school readiness for the upcoming national exams.
Thika East na Thika West ambapo Mheshimiwa Alice amekuwa kitembelea shule kukagua miradi hiyo ambayo walimu serikali imetoa pesa yake kwa niaba ya CDF, na tunashukuru hawa wabunge wetu sababu wanatumia pesa vile ilivyo, ndio haswa watoto wetu waweze kusomea mazingira ambayo yako safi.
Na ile kidogo ilikuja walimu wakuu wanaambiwa iingie kwa infrastructure. Hiyo ni kumaanisha hawana pesa ya kutumia katika shule, hasa matayarisho ya mtihani ambao unakuja.
Despite teachers doing their part in preparing students, they are now urging the government, especially the Treasury, to release the necessary funds without further delay. Beyond the funding, teachers are also calling for heightened security in Banditeri Brown areas and areas along the Kenya-Somali border to ensure smooth and secure administration of the exams.
Kama Boni Forest, mahali ambapo serikali ilikuwa imewapatia walimu nafasi ya kutumia helikopta za wanajeshi, walisema hawawezi wakapatia walimu tena, na wakati huu wa kufanya mtihani tunataka wapatiwe ili wafanye mtihani wakiwa na hiyo usalama, kwa sababu hatuwezi tukawapeleka tu walimu namna hiyo na tunahofia maisha yao na maisha ya wanafunzi.
The teachers' concerns comes just weeks before the start of the national exams. Nurdin Almoge, NTV.
Kenya Private University Students Association have voiced their disagreement with the proposed decentralization of bursaries to the Ministry of Education. Through its Secretary General, Victor Mwalu, the association believes that bursaries should remain with the national government constituency development funds, as MPs are the ones who understand the needy students in their respective constituencies.
As young people of this vibrant nation, we stand at a very crucial moment in our history. The ongoing political processes are stirring tensions that could lead to ethnic trade and conflict. It is our responsibility to address this situation with wisdom and resolve it. I believe that the bursaries should remain in the NGCDF, in the parliamentary level where the MPs serve, because these members of the parliament are the people who know the students who are need these bursaries in their constituencies.
To our fellow citizens, I call upon you to remain steadfast. Let us resist the urge to allow politics to divide us. We must engage in peaceful dialogue and work together to protect our nation from the dangers of hatred and division. It is within our power to shape the future of Kenya.
We're taking a short break here on NTV at 1, but don't go too far. We have much more lined up for you.
Dawa, tu vitu tudogo lakini hesabu mingi. 1 times 4, 3 times 2, 2 times.
Umepitisha limiti ya dawa.
That's a tough pill to swallow. He's now wondering why he doesn't have Shwari medical cover. Una access full limit kutumia unavyohitaji. Ukiwa na Shwari, utawahi sikia umepitisha limiti ya dawa na bado kuna pesa imebaki. Bonyeza *371# kuchukua Shwari medical cover leo.
Introducing Festive Cakes.
We have some delightful snacks for all of you.
The Festive Simbella Cake. Indulge in the pleasure of a cone-shaped cake that's bursting with flavors.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Festive cupcakes. Thank you. Perfect treat to share with friends and family.
Now for your kids' school snacks, hakuna stress.
Festive print cakes. The perfect blend of sweetness and softness.
And now this is for you, Dad, and your office mate.
Festive pound cake. This sumptuous cake will leave you craving for more. Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Live in the moment, live a little today. What'll happen tomorrow? Who's to say? Life's too short to just be living. Life's a precious gift, so keep believing.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
Acne-prone skin? Marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Good morning, Peter. We believe in ideas that can change the world.
We are for every dreamer, creator, striver, and believer. At ABSA CIB, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us because your story matters. ABSA.
Age is just a number for Barcelona striker Robert Lewandowski, one of the most in-form players in Europe. Lewandowski, who turned 36 in August, is in the midst of a goal-scoring purple patch for the table-topping Catalans. And coming off a quiet season by his high standards, Lewandowski has returned to his best under new Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Parents are being encouraged to engage in conversations with their children to understand their challenges and behavior as a proactive step to help prevent potential mental health issues and erosion into the vices. Court of Appeal Judge Justice Lydia Achode says indiscipline and mental illness correlate with criminal behavior, and such there is need to mitigate against the vices at the nurture stage. She says this will help in decongesting prisons while raising an upright generation.
When you go to the prisons, you will find that there are 2,000 or 3,000. If you go to, we visited all the prisons in the country, you'll find thousands, and they are of men and of young at that. Meaning these are the people who could have been out there working to build the nation, to help their families. But it means if you have people that are 30-something or 40-something or 20-something in the prisons, it means who is at home helping with the work? If you go to the women's side, you'll find a much smaller number, maybe Nairobi, Langata, but in the prisons out there, you'll find like 50 or so women in the prison on the women's side, but the men's side, it will be in thousands. So I was just talking to them about substance abuse and about also minding their mental health. That's what the doctor talked about, because a lot of things that happen to them is because they have bottled up things so many times, so that, for example, something happens and you keep it in, another thing happens and you keep it in. Then one day one person talks to you, that's not even the person you're angry with. You've hit somebody so hard, they've fallen down and maybe they die.
Leaders from Northeastern region have raised concerns over challenges affecting the education sector in the region, citing insufficient infrastructure, insecurity and even drought as serious issues that require immediate intervention. The parliamentary group caucus claims close than 1 million children are out of school, while calling on the government to address the matter and come up with programs to promote enrollment back to school.
Almost 1 million children are out of school in northeastern Kenya today. To be specific, 850,000 children. That is a catastrophe. It is a ticking time bomb. And something ought to be done as a matter of urgency. And what we are suggesting is, as part of resolving that issue, the provision of Section 95 2E of the 2013 Basic Education Act must be operationalized, and it should be enshrined in the basic education framework.
This is a region where during the rainy seasons, the region is completely locked out from the rest of Kenya. The roads are completely impassable. And you know what a plane can drop in Northeastern, in Mandera, in Garissa, and Wajir. What a plane can do. We don't have vehicles, you know, moving from Nairobi to Garissa, to Wajir, to Mandera, to, you know, because of the poor roads. We expect to get our share from the national government.
Thousands of school children in Kakamega County can now benefit from the Food for Education program, which provides meals for learners in remote areas at a highly subsidized cost. Some 1,260 primary schools are taking part in the program across the country, which authorities say is improving attendance and participation. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge has more.
Lunchtime has become more fun for pupils at Nyayo T-Zone Primary School in Kakamega following the introduction of the Food for Education program in the area. The school is one of the 28 institutions in Kakamega County that have embraced this program that seeks to keep learners in school.
Mapokezi ya chakula kwa wanafunzi ni mazuri na they are excited, wote wanafurahia, wanapenda kuja shule kila siku kwa sababu wataki kukosa chakula hicho.
In the past, children would rush home during lunch or sometimes even skip meals altogether. But now, with the new system, parents just need to pay 15 shillings per meal for the whole week and their children will stay in school.
Imetusaidia sana kwa sababu saa zingine tulikuwa tunaenda nyumbani tunarudi tunapata kama wanafunzi wengine wameanza mtihani sasa tunachelewa na tuambie tunafanya siku nyingine.
Naona kama sisi watu wengi tulikuwa tunatumia kama shilingi 50 kila siku kupea mtoto kula lunch, sasa naona kama imekuwa rahisi. Sasa unatumia 15 bob.
The program has also offered employment to 32 workers recruited to the serve as tap-to-eat school managers, 61 food servers in the schools and 27 workers in the kitchen. They provide a balanced diet meal for the children.
Mchele is our constant carbohydrate. Monday to Friday, ni mchele. We switch between beans, special ndengu and green grams.
Absenteeism is not as rampant as it used to be. Performance in class is also very good. Teachers are finding it easy when teaching these learners. They are very active.
At least 14,000 children have enrolled to the program in Kakamega.
Currently, we are feeding around 450,000 kids per day in the 1263 schools that we have in Kenya.
They target to open more kitchens across the country and provide food to at least 1 million public primary school children who face challenges during lunch break by 2027. Ruth Sarmui Chesenge, NTV.
Today.
A good initiative there to ensure the young ones stay in school and get an education. Now, a section of leaders in Busia County now want Governor Paul Otuoma to account for 2.7 billion set aside for development, or they initiate an impeachment motion for misappropriation of funds and abuse of office. Local leaders led by Amukura West MCA Boniface Rute are now demanding for the audit of 2.7 billion set aside for development, but whose effect is yet to be felt on the ground. The sentiments are echoed by Principal Administrative Secretary in the Office of the President, Arthur Osia, who noted that Busia is still yet to feel the effect of devolution and there is an urgent need to operationalize it to benefit the residents. Bukhayo North MCA Gadi Ijaka and Joshua Ipara have slammed Governor Otuoma for what they term as moving the county development status to poor. Let's listen in.
Tunasema haya mambo na pia inakuliwe na hata ifikie gavana.
Bungoma ukienda iko sawa, ukienda hapa Kitale iko sawa, Bungoma iko sawa, lakini ukikuja Busia ni kama devolution was postponed. And if it was postponed, then we must operationalize in 2027.
Darasa za ECD hazijajengwa na pesa iko. Ijapokuwa najua national government imechelewa kidogo kutuma pesa, lakini Olunga hii pesa ikitumwa mnapelekanga wapi?
Gavana Otuoma ameshindwa na kazi. Kwa sababu tangu aingie miaka 2 hata tu choo ya shilingi 1400 ile amejenga na iishe na mwenyewe afungue yaanze kutumia kusaidia wananchi hakuna.
Residents of Bungoma County have been encouraged to embrace poultry farming and inclusion of eggs as a special diet and a protein alternative to improve health. Speaking during World Egg Day celebration, the National Veterinary Association chairperson Kelvin Osore said eggs play a crucial role in fighting malnutrition, which is reported to affect most families due to lack of protein from animal products. This comes at a time when the county government of Bungoma is encouraging locals to practice poultry farming business within the county.
We face a lot of protein malnutrition in Kenya. A lot of vulnerable communities are not able to access affordable animal proteins. And studies have shown that eggs are some of the cheapest sources of animal proteins. And so this event aims to highlight that you can keep chicken, get 1 or 2 eggs here and there, and ensure that your child has enough proteins to enable them to study well in school, because proteins contribute to intelligence and education uptake.
An egg has all nutrients, yale madini yote yako hapo. Kama umekosa kuku ukipata yai, basi mambo inakuwa salama kabisa. It is this value chain that can emancipate smallholder farmers to get something so that they have some economic well-being.
Well, food for thought. Let's cross borders now to Ghana, where hundreds of people marched through the capital, Accra, in a peaceful protest against unlicensed gold mining, calling on authorities to act against the dangerous and environmentally damaging practice. The march followed plans by labor unions for a nationwide strike against the practice this week that were partially called off after the government made promising provisions. Illegal small-scale gold mining in Ghana has picked up this year, following an almost 30% rise in the global gold prices. Small-scale mines produced at least 1.2 million ounces of gold in the first 7 months of this year, more than the whole of 2023, according to data from Ghana's mining sector regulator. But the boom in the practice that harms mineral health, pollutes waterways, destroys forests and cocoa farms, and fuels crime has spurred calls and protests to clamp down. It has also become a hot button of electoral issue as Ghana heads to the polls on December 7th for general election.
Spread awareness and to tell those in authority, those in power, to please put a stop to galamsey. It's going to affect us in the long run, and I don't think that most of us are working so hard to make money, so we end up spending that money on dialysis and other hospital bills. So that's why I'm here.
We, the youth of Ghana, are concerned about the pollution of our water bodies, because water is life. Crops need water to grow. We human beings, we need water to grow, and animals also need water to survive. So all that we are saying is, we are calling on the president and his leadership together to save our water bodies. Illegal mining is destroying us.
Let's get sporty now. Kenya's Shujaa are set to face off with Kenya Morans at 2:38 p.m. after both teams cruised to the semi-finals of the Safari Sevens in Machakos Stadium Sunday morning. Morans were their first to book their semi-final slot after a close tie against Lions Rugby with only 2 points separating both teams. Tries from Floyd Wabwire, Harmony Wamalwa and Brian Ondego secured a 19-17 victory despite Lions Rugby scoring the first try of the game. In the fourth semi, it was the same case for Shujaa as their opponent Uganda scored the first try of the clash, but Shujaa clawed their way into the game with William Muhanji getting Shujaa's first try as Ben Salem added 2 more tries with Abukuse adding the final try to register an emphatic 27-12 victory. In the other men's main cup, Semi-Shogun will play against Zimbabwe at 2:15 p.m. In the women's semis, Costa Blanca will face off with Shogun and Kenya. Lioness tackle their neighbors Uganda at 1:58 p.m. The Deputy Chief of Staff in the Executive Office of the President, Eliud Owalo, has urged football stakeholders in the country to elect competent leaders in the upcoming FKF elections. He says the biggest challenges we have as a country is bad governance, which hinders the private sector in investing in football. Thus, there is no structural development of soccer in the country.
Unity that you guys have this time around. This FKF elections, please elect the right people to office. Elect the right people to office. People who have got a passion for the what? The game. So that we can uplift the standards of soccer and take back soccer to where soccer was in the 80s. If there is bad governance in football, the private sector will not put money in what? In football. And to some of us who are diehard soccer fans, we long for the day when we have got the right people in management of soccer in this country. The problem that we have is that we have been electing the wrong people to the right positions.
The Kenya Karate Federation is pushing for karate to be included in the competency-based curriculum syllabus, where it would be taught as a mandatory subject in schools across the country. The Federation believes that karate should also be a compulsory skill for the disciplined forces, since trained karatekas could manage riots and unruly situations without resorting to lethal force. This vision was outlined by Engineer Richard Binga, the president of the Kenya Karate Federation, during a one-day selection event in Thika aimed at forming a 15-member national team which will represent Kenya in the Commonwealth Karate Championship, scheduled for November 28th to December 1st in South Africa.
Tunatarajia kupata kutengeneza timu ya wachezaji 8 wa kiume na wachezaji 7 wa kike. Tutashirikiana na Ministry of Education tuone kama inaweza ingizwa kwa syllabus ya CBC kama mojawapo wa michezo ambayo inafunzwa kuanzia umri mdogo, ndio tuwe na wachezaji wengi ambao wengi wazuri na ku-identify talanta mapema.
Wachezaji wengi wenye wanacheza hapa wanatoka from very humble beginnings, very humble homes. So kupata support, full support ya hata vitu vya kucheza kama handmeans, easy uniforms za kucheza, allowances, hata fare kuwaleta tu mazoezi na kuwa ngumu saa zingine.
Kenya Karate Federation tutaanza kampeni ya kuhimiza watu kuhusu hii mchezo kwa kila county, all the counties. Tunataka kuingia kwa counties ndio at least hata wakati wa selection tuwe tunaingia kutoka pale mashinani ndani, ndio tupate wanakarate to include everybody kwa hii mchezo.
Thank you for keeping me company here on NTV at 1. We will have more updates for you in our subsequent bulletin. In the meantime, do enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Hellen Aura, and have a blessed afternoon, and see you next Sunday.